It's very important to know what you're getting yourself into when buying a fight stick. Just buying any fight stick off the shelf could lead you into some problems, and that's why I'm here. I'm Fernando, aka 90s Baby Gamer, representing ITG, It's Those Guys, and I'm here to talk to you about 3 things to look after when buying a fight stick. Now, obviously, there are more things to factor in, but I'm gonna name 3 ones that really jump at me and I feel that are extremely important when you're going to buy a fight stick. So let's get into it with number 1, and that is the most obvious: part. Now, there are 3 main parts that people are very familiar with when it comes to fight sticks. They are Sanwa parts, Sumitsu parts, and hap controls. Now, these are all considered arcade authentic ones that actually, I'm not even sure if authentic could be the word. They are the actual arcade parts. Whenever Mad Catz advertises, hey, we have Sanwa parts on this arcade stick, it's usually because it's like, hey, these are the parts that are on our official cabinet, even though Street Fighter V doesn't have an arcade port. Ultra Street Fighter 4 certainly did, and they advertised the Sanwa parts as being important. Now, there are a lot of knockoff Sanwa parts. Like, you will see standard edition sticks. Like, for example, Mad Catz has the Street Fighter Alpha stick, which is a small stick, has the 6 buttons, and they are not Sanwa parts, but they claim that they're really close. So you'll see a lot of knockoffs, and they're not bad per se, but how important is it to have the parts aligned is because you want to make sure that when you're pressing the arcade stick, it feels right. For example, if you have an arcade stick where you feel like you have to push down on the button more than, let's say, a Sanwa part where you just tap it and it's super sensitive, some people like that. Some people like that the Sanwa parts are super sensitive. Other people like the Sumitsu parts because they say that the Sumitsu part, you have to push in a little more, right? Even though they are sensitive, you get more pushing, and some people do like that. Other people say, it feels like I have to bash these buttons in order to get the hit. Like, let's say you're doing a light punch, right, or a light kick. You have to really mash on it in order to feel like you're triggering the action. So making sure that you have those parts aligned is very important. There's also, of course, the joystick. You want to make sure that your motions are fluid, especially if you're using a Shoto character. You want to make sure that there are absolutely no issues when it comes to pulling off that Hadouken or Shoryuken motion, and that if you are correct in your motion, that the joystick is aligned with that. So you want to make sure that you have quality parts. Number 2 that I want to get into, and this is a very, very important thing that not a lot of people talk about, it is the gate, the restrictor gate on the stick. Now, what is the restrictor gate? The restrictor gate is placed there to make sure that your joystick doesn't damage any internals within the arcade stick. So you will have a square gate, an octagon gate, and a circle gate. Now, what are the differences between these? Well, the square gate, you have the 4-way motion. So when you go in a direction, the stick is going to click in that direction. When you're doing octagonal, right, it's more like allows you to ride the stick. So if let's say you have a controller, let's say it's a PlayStation 4 controller, and you're used to riding, let's say, the thumbstick. A lot of people don't use the thumbstick when it comes to fighting games if they use controller. I personally do. However, a lot don't. But if you know anything about playing with Shoto characters on the thumbstick, when you're doing that Hadouken motion, you're kind of riding with the thumbstick. You don't do that with a square gate. You're kind of like cutting short the motion with the square gate. The motion makes it, the square gate rather, makes it extremely easy to pull off certain motions. So, but you're not riding the stick. So that's where a lot of people get hung up when they play as Shoto characters on the square gate, because they're not riding the stick like they would normally do. And that's when they say, oh man, I have to get an octagon gate now or a circle gate to make sure that, I'm riding the stick. It's very important that you know which gate is more suitable for you. If you prefer that shortcut, and if you're a Shoto player, then you're probably going to want to prefer the octagon gate in the beginning because you want to ride the stick. Rather, if you want the short motions, you want the square gate. But If you're used to doing the Hadouken motions that way, then you want to choose the octagon gate. The square gate, in my experience, has been perfect with characters such as Karen or Karin Kanzuki in Street Fighter V. She is just perfect with the stick, and all my motions just come out fluidly. I feel like I can perform decently with any gate, and you can too. You can perform any of the motions, any of the moves, any of the combos with all three gates, but you want to make sure that you're most comfortable with one of them. And just so you know, the standard when it comes to these arcade sticks usually comes with a square gate. Okay, and the last one, and obviously this is important, longevity. You want to make sure that you're not buying junk. There are a lot of budget sticks out there, and you don't know which one is on the up and up. Now, personally, I have as you may have seen on my channel, on the 90s Baby Gamer channel, the Detel Arcade Pro. This stick came out, I believe, either 2009 or 2010. It was made by Detel, the same people who made the Action Replay devices. You may have remembered that. However, I personally don't find the stick to be junk. All of my motions are coming out flawlessly. The buttons feel cheap, that's for sure, compared to the stick. However, I've had this stick for about, I want to say 2 months now, and nothing bad has happened to it. I know it's only 2 months, and obviously when it comes to longevity, you want to make sure that you have this arcade stick for like a year or two at least. So you really want to make sure that what you're buying is quality. Look online, see all the customer reviews. If there's no trolling there, just see if this stick lasts people long. Some people update their reviews, so you want to make sure you pay attention to that. Longevity is key. There are a lot of brands that are known for longevity, and some aren't. You make sure that they have a reputation for making these fight sticks. I know I took a chance with the Arcade Pro, but it was a really cheap arcade stick. I believe I got it for $76 in total when it came to taxes. And I know people who have gotten it for way cheaper. There's a Hori mini stick that's $40. Hori's known for having quality, even with their stock parts. So you want to make sure that what you're getting is going to last you a while. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Be sure to be on the up and up when it comes to getting your fight sticks, and don't buy junk. Alright, take it easy.